Hi, my name is Dr. Megha Tulsian. I'm a counseling psychologist and a psychotherapist. And today I want to talk about anxiety, along with a few case examples related to anxiety. Anxiety has become a very commonplace term today in our day-to-day language, with almost all of us talking about it all the time. Let's try and understand what it really is. Mm, so, anxiety is basically a feeling of um, a perception of threat, of fear that you feel because you feel that there is some kind of threat uh, to your being. The response towards anxiety when one perceives something as threat is that there is something called a fight or flight response that gets activated in the body, which means that all the energy is kind of sent to the limbs and to our exteriors so that you can either engage in flight, which is running away from the situation, um, in order to protect yourself, in order to survive, or to fight, to have a lot of energy that can help you fight that particular situation. Now, this was really of this fight or flight would really help us in survival in our early man days, when there would be threat to survival to our lives on an everyday basis if there would be a wild animal there, let's say. But currently, the lives that we live, that we lead, there is no threat to our everyday lives in that sense, and yet we perceive things as threat. Let's say the presentation that I have to give tomorrow. What if I'm not able to do well there? Perceive that as a threat. Let's say the college admission that one is looking to undertake. And what if one doesn't get the college of one's choice? That is perceived as threat. In in all these different kinds of situations, one starts feeling anxious, and sometimes this anxiety also leads to what are known as panic attacks, where you actually feel a lot of palpitations, um, almost to the extent of you not being able to move. So, anxiety today has actually become a very common phenomena, with a lot of data now saying that almost every 1 in 4 to 5 people are facing high anxiety related difficulties. Now, how to deal with anxiety if you're facing it? Let's talk about this woman I had met who uh, was constantly anxious, telling herself that because she's not in a relationship currently, what if she ends up being with nobody in life? What if she ends up alone? Or this man who was very similarly telling himself that he will be alone when he dies, and there will be no one around, and so he would feel very anxious about that. Um, and very many such everyday other situations when we all of us feel anxiety at different levels about. So anxiety happens because we're constantly worried about the future, whether it is near future, that is tomorrow, or long term future, but it's constantly worry related to the future. If you can actually bring yourself to the here and now and to the present at different points in time through reminding yourself, it can help in a very big way in dealing with anxiety. Mindfulness related practices, short meditations, or just short practices such as sipping your tea very mindfully, just being with it fully, uh, being in the present, in the here and now with your tea, for example, can actually help a lot in terms of dealing with anxiety, in terms of you coming back to your state of calm, coming back to your state of being, rather than constantly worried. Thank you.